We are back on the Geo trucker today, and this is something that's needed addressed for a little while because the passenger one didn't work, but now the driver one don't work, so now it's become an issue. And that is window regulators. So these are the manual ones. I was going to convert it to the electric ones because they were actually cheaper than the manuals, but then by the time I bought switches and everything too, it made it more expensive. So yeah, my windows here, before the passenger one would, it did this, and I got in there and fixed it halfway, so it'll roll halfway down, but if you go past that, then it breaks. This one just completely, it is just like stuck here. I can turn the handle, it'll go down, but that's it. I can turn the handle and it ain't moving nowhere. So well, I'm gonna get started and get this door panel off here and get going on that. So I'm not saying you've got to have these things to do this, but it does help. So you got to have your impact driver, screw with a Phillips screw bit on it. You need one of these clip removing tools. That really helps. And then you need a pick. And the pick is to get in here on this window crank. I don't know if you can quite see it there. I can't tell which way it's got to go. It's got to go that way. But if you get it in there and you hook that end right there, you can pop this little clip out of here. Like that. And then your window crank comes off. Pretty simple. Next, there's a screw in here on the door latch, or the door handle, I should say. That screw's got to come out, and then there's on the actual handle part, there's two screws on it, and that comes off. Now on your door handle, you pull that screw out of there, and you lose it like I do. This slides out, and there's this little clip-looking thing in there. And I might need a flat head, but I might be able to do it. So you flip this thing off there like that, and then that rod slides up out like so, and out comes the handle. And then what you need this for, there's a whole way around this door, like here and about here. You just have to look into the side, you can see them. Let's see here. If I can pop that right there. There's a whole bunch of these clips like that right there. And you got to pop all them out, and then that door panel will come off. So I'm going to go around here and pop these off, and I'll show you what it looks like. And then there is the door panel off. I've had this off several times. I've had to work on the latches inside. I've had to replace the handles. I've been in here for the window regulators and stuff like that before. So this time I actually decided to replace them. They were $100 for two. That's driver and passenger side. But on these clips, as you can see, whenever you pull these off, which to be expected on a 27-year-old vehicle, some of them, the thing stayed on here, so I'll have to pop that off, put it back in the door. Some of them pulled out completely out of the panel. So just make sure you put all those back so that whenever you go to clip this back together, it actually works. The next thing you're going to want to do is pull your plastic off here. I'm going to try to save as much of this as I can so I don't have to fabricate a new piece. I know it stretches, but usually some silicone adhesive and they'll go back on and stay pretty good. So I'm going to work this down around off here and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So you don't have to take that plastic completely off, but you do have to get it enough to expose your 3 screws here. You've got 2 screws here and 2 down there on bottom. So I'll show you what to do next. Next thing you got to do is get your window cranked down to where you can at least get to those 2 screws, because that's what holds the window to the regulator. So once you get that down there, you got to be careful though. You pull those 2 screws out, and then your window should be free from the regulator. Then you're going to have to pull it up and tape it or something to hold it up out of your way so that you can work inside the door. I'll try to video this the best I can by myself. I just like tape that up pretty good so I make sure it doesn't fall off. You can see the pieces of tape I stuck there. Then you go back down here and pull the screws out of everything else. You just fish the old one out. There's the old one out. And here you can see what happens to these things. This plastic in here wears out. These cables come through and pull through. And just not a real good setup. Not like high quality built or anything. But, I mean, it does work. I'm pretty sure these are probably the originals. So I guess on a 26 or 27-year-old vehicle, that's not too bad. So I'm going to get the new one, and I'm going to fish it up in there. You can see on this new one how everything's nice and neat and in order. Then, if you look down here, you can see that this regulator was set in the right spot for those screws to go back in. So, you just got to carefully not drop your window. And like that, your new window regulator is pretty much done. You just got to make sure you get all your screws back in, which I haven't done that one yet. Get everything tight. Those two there's will hold your window. So let's put her to the test. There's the handle on. It's down. Help if I tighten that up, but and the window goes up. I can peel my tape back off. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten everything up, and then I'm gonna put this plastic and stuff back on here. So to reattach your plastic, I normally use Permatex silicone adhesive. It's for like moldings and stuff, for like around your windows and stuff. But I don't have any of that right now. I mean, I have used anything that's high temp, just red silicone. But I've got some of the right stuff here. I'm gonna smear it around there and stick the plastic up here. This stuff usually works really well for this, so it doesn't take a lot. I mean, that is really thin. It's just plastic, all it's the one's holding it up. But I just put it on there. And I just stick my plastic back where it was. Try to make sure that the holes are open for whenever you put your panel back on, that it'll be able to actually clip themselves. And there it is, stuck back on there. I mean, I guess you wouldn't have to put the plastic back on there, but it's supposed to help for the wind coming through and stuff. So these vehicles are not known for being sealed up and quiet. So I try to keep everything as much as I can. So then I'm going to put the panel back on there. You just line these clips up the hole. You just gotta go around and find them and make sure they clip. That's all the clips. Then just a little tip. So as for your window crank, whenever you go to put this back on, you gotta make sure you get that sealing washer on. But if you just go ahead and slide your clip back on here. Now, this is one trick to it for sure, is make sure that you get this thing in the right spot so your knee doesn't hit it the whole time you're driving while it's up. But if you just take that, put the clip back on, and put it on there, and just wiggle it a little, side to side, you can just shove it straight back on, and your handle's attached. Done. And you just reinstall your door handle. You can see the rod's still here. Just slide it in the hole and flip your little clip around. Don't forget to do that because it will come unhooked on you if you don't. And that just pops back in. And you put your screw in. And then your handle. And that's the window regulator install on a Geo Tracker. Or in my case, it's a Geo Trucker. If you guys want, go check out that video on the rest of my channel. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.